A semi-truck hit a pedestrian at Love's truck stop in Hearn this morning, and families are waiting to hear whether or not the washed-up Boeing wing came from a missing Malaysian Airlines plane that disappeared 16 months ago. These stories and more right now on News 3 at noon.
Now, live on KBTX, the Brazos Valley's news leader. This is News 3 at noon.
We're learning more this afternoon about what happened when an 18-wheeler hit a man at a Love's truck stop in Hearn this morning. News 3's Kessler McLaughlin reports now from Hearn.
We're at the Love's truck stop in Hearn, where just before 8 o'clock this morning, a person was hit by a semi-truck as they were trying to cross the parking lot. What we understand from people who are on scene is that this was just a tragic accident. From what we understand, a person was walking across the parking lot, perhaps not paying attention when a semi-truck hit them, and the semi-truck driver...
There's no word yet on what, if any, charges may be filed. A woman is dead and a man hurt after a shooting last night in Walker County. The woman was pronounced dead at the scene, and the man was flown to a Houston hospital with a gunshot wound near his groin. The man and woman were married and were the only ones home during the shooting. That shooting is still under investigation. And we'll have much more news in just a few minutes, but first we've got Max Crawford in with a first look at weather. 101 yesterday. What are we looking for today, Max?
It's going to be very, very close to that. So we're already looking at very humid conditions this afternoon. There's a small chance we could even see a couple of showers pop up later this afternoon. Here's a quick look at the pinpoint radar showing things are quiet for right now, but we're going to leave about a 30% shot at some showers throughout the next couple of hours. Quick look at your afternoon. 20% chance by 5 o'clock. Rain chances dwindle down going into the weekend. We'll get you a better forecast for your weekend coming up in just a couple minutes.
An 8-year-old boy was killed in an apparent accidental shooting at a home in Houston Thursday. Houston police say the victim and an 11-year-old boy found 2 guns in one of the home's upstairs bedrooms. According to police, the boys were tossing the pistol back and forth when it suddenly fired, hitting the youngest boy in the head. Adults who lived at the home had gone to a nearby store to pick up food. The boy was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect in the deadly South Carolina church shooting is expected in federal court today, facing dozens of state and federal charges. 21-year-old Dylan Roof is scheduled to be arraigned today in Charleston for the June 17th shootings at a black church. Roof faces 33 federal charges in total. Prosecutors have not stated whether they'll seek the death penalty. New this afternoon, the U.S. Coast Guard is suspending the search for 2 Florida teens missing at sea since last Friday. They've covered more than 43,000 square nautical miles with a search area stretching from Daytona, Florida to Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Their families, though, say they'll keep on holding private search efforts. As Kathleen Walter reports, people in their South Florida community are holding vigils, praying for the boys' safe return.
Sky lanterns light up the night as they rise over the waters of the Atlantic at a vigil in honor of Austin and Perry.
You know, I can't even explain it. It's just an overwhelming feeling that I know that they're out there somewhere and they need help.
1 year before the Summer Olympics are set to begin in Rio, the Brazilian government says the water pollution is so bad it's unfit for swimming. The area that has been ruled unfit for swimming is near where an Olympic qualifier and paratriathlon event begins Saturday. Athletes are already getting in the water as they prepare for the event. The area has been deemed unfit during 8 other water tests this year alone. And speaking of the Olympics, no city has ever hosted both the Summer and Winter Olympics until now. After a decision made early this morning, Beijing will be the first. The Chinese capital has been awarded the 2022 Winter Olympics, taking the games back to the city that hosted the summer version in 2008. And an update now on the American dentist who shot and killed a protected lion in Zimbabwe. Officials say they've already started getting the process of bringing him back to their country to pursue charges against him. Walter Palmer is accused of paying for the guided hunt, in which authorities say the lion named Cecil was lured out of a national park, shot with a bow and arrow, and later killed with a gun. A Zimbabwean cabinet minister says the country plans to seek extradition. Investigators should know by this weekend if the wreckage found off the coast of Africa is from a missing Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. Jonathan Vigliotti has the latest from Reunion Island.
This 6-foot piece of wreckage that washed up on Reunion Island is expected to be flown to investigators in France tonight. Aviation experts will examine it at a special defense facility in Toulouse to confirm if it came from missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
The part of the wing washed up about 2,500 miles from where investigators thought Flight 370 had crashed. The annual Arts Council event is coming up in just a few weeks. How you can get involved. Next on News 3 at noon.